Very good, thank you. How are you?
Great, thanks, Barry. And thank you for your time to share with our listeners and our readers. But you've got a message for them, haven't you, Barry? And Barry's from Uncovering Greatness, as you can see on Barry's t shirt. But, Barry, what's the message you've got somewhere hidden there?
Pretty simple, Robert, in this time. I don't know if you can see that.
Do not fear, just believe. Barry, that's what people need to think about right now, isn't it? It's all about getting rid of the fear. And Barry, what's a practical way of doing that?
Well, first step, have gratitude.
Mm.
Two emotions that don't go together are gratitude and fear. So find things to be grateful for. Be grateful that you got up this morning. Be grateful that you're in lockdown and you can spend time with your family. Be grateful you're in lockdown and you can spend time with yourself. Be grateful you're in lockdown and you can connect with yourself and you can think about how to overcome the things that you haven't had time to think about overcoming for weeks, months, maybe even for some of you years. Find things to be grateful for. This morning I got up. I go to CrossFit every day. Pretty much I train 6 days a week. We can't go to the CrossFit box. So I've been working with our trainer and helped him get onto Zoom. And every morning now they're running live little training sessions. Guess what? I've been able to train with my daughters from home, with my dogs, in the garden, doing CrossFit, doing an exercise. It's something I normally wouldn't do. Oh, wow, I'm grateful for that. I can go to the opposite side of the coin and look at all the things but I'm not in my office and I've had to take my studio to a different place and all those type of things. And that's fine. Those are reality things. But when I think about all the things that aren't having and how the exchange rates moved and how I'm going to lose money and how am I going to manage my business, the fear goes up. Have gratitude. So step number one. Have gratitude. That for me is the first step. Every day, write down what you're grateful for. Every night, write down what you're grateful for. Who you're grateful for, who you're grateful for in your life, what you're grateful for in your life. And when that fear starts coming up, just stop yourself. Be conscious. Stop. Say, hey, I understand. Where's that fear coming from? Great. What am I grateful for at the moment? Well, I'm grateful that I do have a challenge that I can overcome, and run from there.
It's really about seeing the glass either half empty or half full, isn't it? And these are like exciting times for us to find new ways of doing things, connecting with people differently, all kinds of things like that.
Yeah. Robert, I think the glass half empty, the glass half full is always an interesting analogy. You have to be realistic and understand that there's two sides to it. So it's not about, I think people get this wrong sometimes with all the euphoria of being positive and just look at the positive. No, you have to look at the other side. It's realistic. So you've got to look at the other side. But if you're full of fear, you can't look at the other side with an open mind. Your spirit's not free to uncover what needs to be done to overcome those obstacles. So you need to have the right energy, the right mindset, the right level of gratitude. So fear dissipates. So when you look at the other side, when you look at what needs to be done in your business, what needs to be done in your life, what needs to be done in your marriage or relationship, or whatever's creating the fears for you, if you have gratitude, you can look at it with a much more creative, focused, centered mind. So I think people get this, just shove the bad things away and be all euphoric. No, it's not about that.
Don't work like that, does it?
There are two sides. There's empty and full. On any coin, there's two sides. There's good and bad, up and down, yes and no. In fact, there's three sides, as you know. You've been in my seminars enough now. And as I learned from Robert Kiyosaki and the great Buckminster Fuller, there's three sides, and the one side is the edge. So you've got to be able to stand on the edge, see both sides, and find gratitude in what you're going through, which diminishes fear. Fear and gratitude don't go together. So that's the first step. Have gratitude.
And the second step is really to be present, isn't it, Barry? Because when we're so present, it takes away the fear, because you're not worrying about what might happen. You're not worrying about the past, which you can do nothing about. You're simply focusing on what can I do now to be a better entrepreneur, a better leader of myself, never mind my team. And these are awesome things we can apply at the moment.
Yeah, Robert, if you can't lead yourself, you can't lead others. And the first step is to be present. Most people do not live in the present. They live in the past or the future. Most people are worried about, they're bitter about or concerned about why they don't have what they don't have, and then they're focusing on what they want in the future. Now, you have to look towards the future. But the problem is most people are focused on the future and not actually acting in the present. So you've got to act in the present. So if you act in the present, learn from the past, you create a different future. What people are doing is stuck in the present. And if you're stuck in the present, you can't act if you're stuck in the past, people are stuck in the past. If you're stuck in the past, you can't act in the present, which means you will keep repeating the same future. So you've got to be present. Now you also have to be present with yourself, present with your mind, present with your feelings, present with your emotions, present with your angers, present with your spirit. When you get more and more present with your spirit and your mindset, you can start making much wiser decisions because you are a lot more in control of yourself in the now, much more in control of your emotions. You dissipate those things, start moving away.
And it's like a golf swing, isn't it, Barry? It's too late when you've hit the ball. Concentrate 100%. On how you're hitting the ball, and that will sort the distance out. So concentrate on what we can do now, because that will sort the future out, isn't it, Barry?
100%. Be in the present. Be in the present now. And the third thing that I'd like to throw in, Robert, if it's okay with you, is the third thing for me is you got to have faith.
Yeah.
I've been in business nearly 30 years. I've been an entrepreneur for 17 of those. And when I look back, the one key thing that has got me through a lot of stuff is faith. And both faith on a Christian context, but faith just in life, faith in my abilities, faith in my team, faith in my partners, faith in relationships that I build with other people like you, faith that the right people will show up at the right time if I do the right things. And pretty simply, faith in the Bible is believing in the things that we hope for and being certain of the things we cannot see. Awesome. So right now, there's stuff that we can't see that's happening in the world. There's stuff, and what happens with a lot of people is they want to believe their business is going to be better as long as they can see it. Just do the things in the present and have faith that if you do the right things will happen. It's the way life works, and the closer you are and the more present you are, the more you will connect spiritually, the more God's plans, I believe, my belief, God's plans will become clearer to you, and you act on those things. You see, this is the other thing about being present. You act. Now, they're either going to work or they're not going to work. If they're the right things to do, they'll work. If they're not, well, you'll learn from them and you'll do something else. But keep acting. Take action. So now, in this time right now, be present with yourself, have faith, get ideas, act. And the right things will start happening, and your future will change.
Barry, thanks so much for the effort you put in, for the service you give to our listeners and our people watching this video. Let's really go out there and help to get people across the line and to change the world. So thanks so much, Barry, for all your effort.
Pleasure, Robert. Our job is pretty simple: is to serve. Serve other people, help them create a different life, and in so doing, as a guy called Frank Betcher said, when you go out to find out what other people need and you help them get it, you ultimately will get what you need. So do it with the right spirit, the right heart. But as always, great being with you, Robert. Thank you, buddy. Be awesome. And your listeners, be awesome.
Okay, cheers for now.
Cheers, matey. Chat to you later.
See you in the presence in the future.